All right, so today we are going to be focusing again on GSAP, and we are going to be doing a combo of a few GSAP effects that I thought would look good in basically have a starter template. Like you would put this on a landing page, let's say, and you would add more information to it, but this would add that spice to it and make it interesting. So I will have this as a downloadable in the description below. It's not fully mobile optimized, but you know by now that these are rarely mobile optimized because I am very pressed by time. But I promise from January there will be more and more templates that will be available on the OWO website as well, and of course they will be all mobile optimized. So I will have a demo right here where you can see what to expect, and this is quite awesome. I think this will make any landing page or any part of a website very cool, because you can take these sections and put them, let's say, on a website here and there. You don't have to have all the website super GSAP'd, but you can have this sprinkled here and there. And they also add to cohesion to this website that, let's say, you are gonna build, right? And we're gonna have this deployed on Cloudways, and we're gonna go through the whole process in a minute to see how it works. And yes, they're running a Black Friday deal right now, so I think it's very interesting to have a look at what they are offering. So let's get into it. All right, so here we are. We are going to set up our, first of all, our environment, because this is where everything starts. I'm gonna log in, okay? And I am going to log in, obviously, again, and you are up and running. So first of all, we have to select an application, and our application obviously is going to be WordPress, nothing else, okay? So we're going to start with this. Let's call it, what are we going to call it? Let's say GSAP starter template. I think it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool name. I'm gonna call my server the same name, and I'm gonna leave it in my selected project, okay? And I'm gonna go with DigitalOcean. This is what I always use, but you can choose from all other servers that are here. You can have a look over, you can hover over tooltips, and you can find more information about them. I'm gonna stick with my DigitalOcean, and I'm gonna go to I'm gonna stick to 2 gigabytes, okay? I'm gonna select my location, and this location is going to be the nearest location to me, and that is, in my case, is in Europe, and it's Frankfurt. And that's it. All I have to do now is click launch, and my setup is going to take place. It's going to take a few minutes, more or less 7 minutes, they say. Sometimes it's faster than 7 minutes, but it's going to go through the process, and I'll come back as soon as this is done. All right, and it seems like we are in business, okay? Our server has been created, and we can access it right from here, okay? If I go here, access details are right here. And I'm gonna log in, so you need to log into the admin panel as you would normally do with any application, yeah? So I'm gonna copy my details, and I'm gonna grab my password because I know my email. Drop in the password first. Who does that? Me, seems like. studioegri.com. All right, so I'm gonna log in, and I'm not gonna save it, but I am going to go to plugins. So let's see what plugins we have here, okay? For now, these are not important. I'm just going to add Elementor because this is what we need, right? So I'm gonna look for Elementor, and I'm also going to add Elementor Pro. So if in case you ever wondered if I only use Elementor, no, unfortunately. I need to use Elementor Pro as well for the custom codes functionality and other things. In general, I prefer to use Elementor Pro, so I don't have any headaches. So I'm going to skip this. Yeah, I'm gonna not go through the process. I'm going to go and add my Elementor Pro plugin. Yeah, I'm gonna click here, and I'm going to add a plugin. Dropped it in there and install, and it's going to install, and I'm gonna skip over this because this is boring. I'm gonna come in a minute. I have also added the hello theme in case you're wondering what theme I use? I get this question a lot, and that's why I want to mention it in these videos that I'm making lately. I think it's important, and why not address it, right? All right, so I'm gonna add a page and add a new page, and this is going to be my template. Okay, I'm gonna call it GSAP starter template. Create it, and I'm just going to drop it in here, and I'm gonna go over a few things if you want. I mean, I'm gonna go over a few things so we are clear what's what. Okay, probably I'm not gonna address all your questions or the questions that you might have, but you know. All right, so I added my starter template here. I just dragged the template JSON file on here. I forgot to turn on my camera for that. Anyway, so I'm gonna insert it. So I did not do any of the things that you have to do to prepare the backend for a beautiful front end or editor experience. Okay, as you can see, it's quite ugly. So excuse me, let me just do some things. I'm gonna go to change the color of the background basically. So this is going to be black. Okay, and I'm also going to go to settings and hide the title, publish this, and let's just have a quick look to see how it looks. It looks a little bit off, but yeah, these are things that we can change. And it's a little bit choppy because we don't have Lenis installed on this website, but this is how it will look once everything is done properly. Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna change the color of this font. Let me see the color on this one. This is basically this. Let me go to style and drop it in here. Much better than that ugly blue. All right, so I'm gonna go to my text here at the bottom of the page, and also I'm gonna grab this white as well, and I'm gonna go to the last container, color here. All right, so now we kind of have a consistency going on. Okay, and I'm also going to add a logo here, so for the sake of having a logo, you know, doesn't look so out of place. Select and save changes, and let's see what we have. All right, that's not the best logo, but okay, whatever. It works. Okay, so in order to get rid of this, basically this is the name of the website. Yeah, we have to go to the site settings and go to, let's start with the hello header and turn this off, and also go to the footer. This is something that it's just standard that needs to be done. All right, now we have a clean website, let's say. All right, so we don't have the font that I showed you earlier, but this is what we have. So let's see how it works. Okay, I'm gonna also add Lenis because this is not as smooth as I want it to be, and it's not as nice necessarily, you know. And also I'm gonna add a background color here because the original template has a background color. Okay, I'm gonna go to this part. Let me just close this, and let's go back, and let's go here. It was a very nice green. I don't know if I can replicate it now. I don't want to look for that color, but it was something like this, something around this tone of color, green. Yeah, I think it's very nice. And let's have this sitting here. I'll also update. All right, so I think we should go bit by bit. First, let's start with our heading. All right, as I said, let's go to the top of the page and where we have our heading. And this heading actually should sit in the theme builder in the header, but I just have it here on the page because it's easier for me to download it. But once you have the template, please copy this part, yes, and then go to the container that is holding all our code. Yeah, I merged all the GSAP codes in here, sorry, here, so we don't have like 3-4 HTML tags, because that's not how it should be done. I will leave a note in the description below separate for this, for the code that you need for the heading. So basically is this code. Yeah, so you grab this code and add it in between scripts, yeah, script tags like this, like it is, like you would normally do, and then also add the GSAP code. I will leave this separately so you don't have to worry. and I will explain how to implement it, okay? But just make sure that you don't have the heading here. You should not have the heading on the same page where you have everything. I'm not gonna go over this. It's very easy. Just copy paste and then you replace whatever you need to replace in here. For example, in the icon list, you have home, about, contact, service. This is like you would normally edit this in Elementor. It's nothing that you have to do with code and or anything like that. Yeah. And you link it to wherever you want this nav items to link to, right? And then we have a button as well, link the button wherever you want. We have social icons as well. And these are just some basic things that I added. Okay, so then we have another container where I have an image. I can add whatever image here, or you can add whatever you want, whatever else you want to have on this page. So let me just show you if you don't know how this looks. I've been using this quite a lot lately, and I'm assuming that everyone knows, but maybe you have not watched my videos. So if I click on the burger menu, yeah, okay, we have to add a background, but you get the home and about and services nav item, as I said, and you get the image, the button, and the social icons. Okay, so let me just add a background here. Do the whole container, the overlay. Obviously you have to go to the overlay container. I always forget this. Anyway, so let's go black. Okay, I'm gonna have a look again, and this time is correct. Okay, and now you see everything, and everything is done correctly. I have then, let me just close this. I have then another container. Basically, this is the hero section where we have 3 images. If you want to add more images to be stacked like you see here, you will have to duplicate or add more widget containers here. And then we have this heading, and then we have the second heading. This need to be kind of in this order, or you can add, or maybe you can delete this if you don't want it, or you can add something else here. And then let me just go to the next container, and we have a big space here, yeah, because we need space for this effect to take place, as you have seen. All right, so let me just go in here, and we have this heading, and this is where our image, one of the images, will land. Okay, and then we have an empty container here, which is actually the container that is connected to the pinned images here. So this is very important. You will have to add this, even if you don't have or add too much height to it. I suggest that you leave it there, because otherwise this will not work. So I would say maybe around here would be a good height for it, because then it stops right here and the images are kind of in the middle of the page. But you can play around and see where you are comfortable for like these images to start pinning and working their magic. Okay, and then we have this container that contains 3 containers that contain each container with an image, and this is the structure that I found that works best with this effect. If you can find a better structure, less contained, I would say, because these are many containers, I understand, yes, but yeah, anyway. And then at the end we have another container that just has the word the end, basically, which can have something else, and then you can have, of course, your footer and or whatever you want to have on the page. And then we have an HTML tag where I compiled all the code that it's making this effect work. So basically, I'm not sure if it's necessarily in order. No, it's not, because the last part here, this is the code that makes the menu work the way it works, yeah, at the top. Then we have this container, this part of the code that is making our images pin to the center, and this is basically the top effect that is making our images pin to, or scroll and then pin one image to a section. So let's have another look. All right, so let's refresh and let's have another look. So the menu works. We just have to change the colors. Okay, this is not difficult at all. And then we have our scroll, 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 pin there and pin here. And then we have this working like this. Absolutely cool. Cool, cool, cool. So cool. All right, I'm gonna add, let me add the secret sauce basically, which is Lenny's scroll. And if you don't know what Lenny's is, it's magic for your website. Okay, so let me add it in here, body end, yeah, and publish, and entire on the, I want this to be on the entire website. Otherwise it's going to look weird if you have it only on one page. All right, so this is not everything. We need to add some CSS code to our page. All right, so let's go back template and let's go to edit with Elementor. And okay, got it. And I'm gonna go to site settings and go to custom CSS and drop it in here and save. And now let's see what we have. All right, boom, it's already, oh my god, this is so nice. I don't know if you can tell from the scroll, the comparison between the two as scroll. Now it's so much better. So much better. I love it. Yeah. All right. So let's go back to Cloudways. And what I want to do is create a staging environment for my website or my template, because let's face it, these things can go wrong so fast that you don't even know what happened. So if you go here where you are in your, like, where you have your access details, if you go to staging management, you can go to create a staging environment and just launch it. And of course you have to choose your server or staging application. And that's it. And it just, this is created for you automatically. You don't have to do anything else. And voila, it's creating our staging application. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but and if you've watched my previous videos, probably you know that I prefer to have 24/7 human support. I'm not interested in interacting with AIs, especially on urgent matters where I need help right now, because let's face it, when you reach support, you are already at the point where you need help, like real help. Yeah, and Cloudways actually understands that, and it seems like their 24/7 support is very human and it's very helpful, very knowledgeable. So this is one of those selling points that I think Cloudways really understands and it's providing to its customers, and I really support that. And I wish more product makers, SaaS makers, whatever, would understand this. Everyone is on the AI choo-choo train, and I don't know if I necessarily support it. All right, so our staging has been created, and if you go here, you will see that you have the live site and the staging site, right? And if you go to the staging site, you have here different access details that you can log into your staging site and then do all the things that you need to do. And this is so cool. And also you have access to backup and restore. And this is, again, I always say this, these are some of the most important things that you should look at when you get a hosting provider, because this, like with, let's say, I'm gonna make a weird comparison here, like with health insurance. You are healthy and you think that you're paying health insurance for nothing, but once you need health insurance, it's there to help you, right? And this is the same way. I don't know, it's like, this is how I see it, and I've had many situations where I needed backup and restore, and I thank God that I had the backup that I needed in that moment. Yeah, so we can take a backup right now. Let's see how this is going to go. This is, as it says there, it may take a few minutes, but just relax and enjoy the process, because this, as I said, will really save you, at some point in the future. And even if you don't need it, just knowing that you have it, it's so, I don't know, empowering, I would say. I don't know. All right, and it's done. And as you can see, if you have issues, you can restore the application from here. And just like that, you are back in business again. And you have this backups on demand as well. You can also do backups also. And let's go a little bit to the staging management. I didn't mention this, but this is the process. So if you want to, if you're working on the staging environment, you can push the changes that you have made to the live site from here. Yeah. And if you want to pull, let's say you did some changes on the live site, but you want to update your staging site with the changes. Let's say you made a mistake and you worked on the live instead of the staging, and you don't want to make another staging website, you can just pull data from the live site and that's it. It's done for you. That's another cool thing. And another thing to be mentioned here about Cloudways, they have safe updates, and I will leave a link in the description below to this page. And if you have ever used WordPress, let's say, and of course you did because you're watching this video, you know that how it is with the updates when it comes to plugins, and you have to be so careful when you do that. And Cloudways have this feature called Safe Updates. Safe, as you see here, it says Safe Updates automatically detect, test, and deploy WordPress website updates. So you spend less time on upkeep and more on business growth. And this is so amazing. You cannot imagine. And let's go through the page. And as you can see, it says here, auto detection and backup. Okay, automated testing, auto deployment. Cloudways customers save 42 hours of WordPress maintenance on average with safe updates. I think this is amazing, and all these are the things that actually we need, right? We don't need shiny objects, we don't need shiny silly features. This is what we need from software makers, from plugin makers, right? And as I said, I will leave a link in the description below so you can have a look over this. And as you can see, they have a terrific price for everyone, they say. Okay, I don't think this is even an expensive price. I mean, it's $1.2 per month. What do you even buy for that? And this is of course a Black Friday offer, but even for €3 per month for just, you know, taking your mind off maintenance, let's just say that's one of the worst things that we have to do as web designers. So I think this is very, very cool. And you can go over all this information here and have a look to see if it's worth it. They have some FAQs here. If you want, you can contact their support to talk to them, see if you have additional questions and they were not addressed on this page. Yeah, so going back to our start and template, as I said, I will have a link in the description below for this. And yeah, I hope you can implement it on your project, in whatever project you're making. And I hope that this helped a little bit. And thanks for watching, as always.